Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Emergent Gamer Podcast. This is Trip Zero. I'm here with
Felix Hergood.
a 227, brought to you by the OG Podcast Network. Another great week of news, guys. We had some big events this week. We had Sony's State of Play. We had Inside Xbox and talked about what is coming down the road. We're also prepping for Destiny 2 Shadowkeep, one of the biggest expansions and the first expansion in Bungie's post-Activision solo independent studio career adventure with Destiny.
I didn't know that's why this was significant. I didn't know that.
There's a lot of significance. But let's catch up with us like we always do.
Let's do
Felix,
that.
how are you?
Are you feeling awkward about the duo?
No. We're doing a duo tonight.
I always wondered about you because you and I haven't done many duos over the years.
We haven't. And if we're getting into it, if we're going to shop talk a little bit, I don't like doing duos.
You know,
and it's not because I don't like talking to you.
Yeah.
Or because I don't like talking to Neo.
I think you and I are pretty fucking funny when we talk to each other.
I think we are too, but I think the dynamic of the Emergent Gamer Podcast really lives and breathes off of the group.
Yeah.
That's why I'm on the side of the fence of let's not do smaller shows. They don't happen often, of course.
Right.
We were talking earlier, not live. I almost said chat.
What did you almost say?
I almost said we were talking earlier, chat. I know we're recording a podcast right now, right?
Right. I know.
Because we're broadcasting, it's like I don't know.
It can get confusing.
I'm actually streaming.
I told you.
I
was saying off stream that I listened to the Your Mom's House podcast, and those guys do that primarily live. So they do it to YouTube, or I don't think they do it to a streaming service, but I think they record the videos and then break the clips up. They might be live on their website when they're doing it. I don't know. But I was watching a bunch of those episodes with Mrs. Felix, and then we're in the middle of one episode, and they really got heavy on on video. They were watching a bunch of stuff, and she just said to me, she's like, I can't see what they're laughing at. I don't find this funny at all. This isn't hilarious, because I can't see what they're laughing at. So,
and this was an audio thing you guys were listening to? You weren't watching them, you were listening?
Totally audio, because I got into Your Mom's House just by searching. I think they were recommended.
You're I got into Your Mom's house.
I get into Your Mom's house. It's Tom Segura and his wife Christina Pajinski, who are both comedians. Yeah. And
you said it's gross really fun to listen to.
They're gross out comics, but they have a lot of inside humor that you start to pick up their symbolism and shit as you go along. And they interview a lot of interesting, they had Alyssa Milano on it. It was really fucking awesome. They did Alyssa Milano, and they introduced me to a comedian that I'd never heard of before. Anthony, I'm not going to remember his last name. But
Anthony Fuck.
No, I can't remember his last name, but
that's his name.
There's a bunch of comedians that they interview, and it's a very inside comedian conversation that I really enjoy.
So you like the angle that you're hearing them talk shop while not being part of the world, but you want to know more about the world.
They they show you. It's almost like a view behind the comedy door. So you get the drama inside comedians and who they like and who they don't like and shit like that. So it's pretty fun.
For sure.
But anyway, my point was, quite often, they're doing visual things that no one can see.
Right. Yeah, that's not a good vibe.
It's not good for an audio podcast. So
it isn't.
We're not going to do it to you, fans of the Emergent Gamer Podcast.
If we ever do evolve to that, right? Because, if you guys don't know who are listening at home later on, we broadcast this live at Emergent_Gamer on both Twitch and Mixer. So definitely tune in Sunday nights when we record it. But if we ever do evolve the visual aspect of the show, which I do want to do, where we have maybe a mirror on the screen to show what we're watching or observing at the same time.
Or I'm just not sitting fucking behind a goddamn green screen.
Right.
For no fucking reason.
But what we should do for the benefit of people that do like the audio experience is at least pipe in that audio into the mix as well.
Yeah.
So it's not just silence on that end as a bunch of us look at a phone.
Yeah, no, I agree. And all that would take is that would take. I take one of my other computers here and just pump the audio in. I could do it now.
Pick a computer. We got a room full of computers. He's sitting on a computer right now.
Do it fucking now if I wanted to.
So what have you been? How's your week been? What have you been gaming?
Okay, I got a very exciting day tomorrow. Okay.
Okay.
Tomorrow is
Okay.
Curse of the Vampire, which is the DLC that's included in the pre-order that I got for Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3: The Black Order.
Okay.
So they're coming out tomorrow with the Curse of the Vampire expansion. That's number one of multiple expansions. I paid $80 to have that. I bought the $80 version of the game,
Right. Right.
and that's going to include multiple expansions. I think they're trying to do what Marvel Future Fight is doing on mobile. Marvel Future
Right.
Fight is, hundreds of characters, and I think they're just going to do it over time. They're just going to release characters as you go, and it's just going to expand the game.
Sure.
But
When you said because you mentioned this, I think in our Discord chat that this
yeah,
was coming out, it sounded like a whole other game.
it's
Doesn't sound
not.
like a
It's going to
like a
be
Marvel thing.
it's going to wait. What sounds like a whole other game?
It doesn't sound like a
Curse of the
like
Vampire.
Curse of the Vampire sounds like a spooky
Oh
Halloween.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
No. What tie-in does this have to like the Marvel world?
One of the characters that's being released. So the characters that are being released with this, four characters, are Marvel Knights. Marvel Knights is a label, a brand of Marvel that was created probably in the late '90s, early 2000s.
Okay.
And Marvel Knights, the four Marvel Knights characters that they're releasing, one is Morbius the Living Vampire. So the plot is going to revolve around Morbius the Living Vampire. And then,
There
of
it
course,
is.
my favorite character of all time, the Punisher, is being released in the game. So that's going to be interesting to see how they incorporate him with the other characters. And
Sure.
then two other characters that you may or may not know, Blade.
Probably not, honestly.
Blade.
Oh, well, I've heard of Blade.
Yeah, so Blade's being
There we
released.
go.
He's
I'm
a
hip.
Marvel Knight, and then you might not know Moon Knight. So Moon Knight is another character that's
I
being
don't
released.
know actually what they are, but I've heard the name Moon Knight before.
Significance of Moon Knight is they just announced a TV show that's going to be on the new Disney Plus for Moon Knight.
Oh, maybe that's why
I have no idea how they're going to do.
I know.
Yeah,
the name.
right. So the Moon Knight is ultra violent. The comic, it's pretty violent, right? So I have no idea how they're going to do this.
Moon Knight on Disney Plus.
On Disney Plus.
Great, dude.
My guess is it's going to go to Hulu. But anyway, point is I think the story is going to revolve around Morbius the Living Vampire in some capacity because it's called Curse of the Vampire. So that comes out tomorrow, actually, for Nintendo Switch.
Okay. Cool.
And that's going to incorporate a new game mode, which I don't really know much about. I don't know what it's even called, but there's going to be an additional game mode in addition to the Rift playthrough that we do, which is Rifts are just like part. I mentioned it last week. It's like parts of a level, and they're really hard,
Right.
But what I've discovered
Challenges.
What I've discovered in trying to attempt what is called the Omega Rift, which is the highest level rift you can do, is I discovered that there's this whole aspect of the game that I haven't been putting a lot of attention to, and it's like this hexagon bracket system that's in the game. Kind of, if you've ever seen Path of Exile, kind of looks a lot like that.
Okay.
The original Diablo 2, I think, had this, like a big bracket system for like increasing small portions of your leveling up for your different characters and shit. So it looks a lot like that. And I haven't been doing a lot of attention to it because I couldn't figure out the currency that buys these little hexagons to increase that portion of the game. Like an example would be like, plus 50 to like your overall attack damage and plus 30 to like your defense and shit like that. These are examples of what these things look like. I found out that the currency that you get, the only way to achieve the currency to buy those points and increase that area of the game are achieved through leveling characters. So you only really get it when you level characters. And I haven't really been caring about the rest of the characters in the game. Like,
Did you level up who you like to play with, and that's it?
I leveled up characters that were appropriate at the time and got to use their playstyles, and I was enjoying the shit out of it. But now I realize to do the end game shit, you need to get the currency that unlocks more of those hexagons. Because if you don't, you can't. Some of these are so fucking hard. I need that extra boost from this extra portion of the game that I haven't fucked with really at all. So ultimately now what I have to do is I have to grind the levels of all the characters to 100. So the week has
No big
been...
deal. Just got to do all of that.
Well, I do have a system now, and like for instance, just to measure it in time, the other night I leveled Wasp, from the Ant-Man and the Wasp. So
Sure.
I leveled the Wasp character from level 13 to 100 in 2 hours.
That sounds like a fucking lot.
That's
It's
fast,
fast as
right?
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it has to do with like adding these crystals that increase XP. So I have 6 of those crystals that I've dropped. They're called Team XP crystals. I
Right.
can apply all 6 of them, and I get 600% like Team XP increase.
So people can do this if they've played a lot and gotten a lot of these things to drop.
Yeah.
Like they can.
Yeah, because there's crystals that make them drop more
other
too.
Things. Yeah.
Yeah, there's crystals that make them drop more, and I've now gotten 6, and I just apply them on 2 of the characters or 3 of the characters, and next thing you know, 600 XP percentage is happening for the leveling up process. So it's going to be a little easier.
Nice, dude.
But as it turns out, I have to level all the characters to get this currency that goes with it. So that's what I've been doing all week.
Cool.
I did do more of Control.
Nice.
Not much more, just enough to know that this game is a really great nightmare of a game that you need to fucking play.
I need to play it, dude.
It's one of those
Hopefully
games. I normally don't suggest this, but I know how much you love like blind playing a game.
I do.
And I'm playing it blind because I literally knew nothing about Control. And I went in, I bought it on the PlayStation, and I've now been going through it. I like to read like the pamphlets and pieces of paper that you find all over the world and shit.
Right.
So I'm going through that. I don't know if people who watch my stream enjoy that, but I'll fucking do it.
I mean, you should always do exactly what you want to do.
I'm just going to do what I fucking want. But
because if you love it, that comes across.
It just, like, if I'm sitting there on stream just reading a piece of paper and not reiterating it back to my audience, it just doesn't feel right to me because they're just watching me read something.
You read it out loud, right?
Yeah. I just read what I found.
Sure.
Like, that makes sense, right?
Makes total sense.
Yeah. But I've definitely gotten to the point. I haven't unlocked the entire perk tree yet, but I'm on my way. So
cool.
But yeah,
very cool.
That's pretty much what I worked on all week. And I did 2 couch co-ops. I did a couch co-op with Kevin Oates, and we completed Guns, Gore, and Cannoli 2. We completed it.
Nice, dude.
I
hopped in when you guys were playing Stranger Things 3, the game.
I got Kevin Oates into that. Like, he really, he's never watched Stranger Things at all, but he loves the style of the game.
I mean, it's a classic, throwback style.
So I wanted to ask your opinion. You were watching. What game does that throw back to you? Like, did you have one in your head when you were watching it?
No, because it wasn't a pure, like, this game is just what someone would have played in the 80s. There was a lot of, like, current gaming, like, mechanics and things in there. You know, upgrades and searches and loot and all kinds of shit like that. But the view and the art style is what is reminiscent about.
Right, yeah. And it's specific.
Which is kind of what the show does from a TV perspective. The show isn't like an 80s TV show, but the show makes you remember what it was like. I mean, for people that have been I'm a 90s baby, so I didn't live in the 80s. Right. But like those holdovers I found.
Yeah, but the 90s had like fallout from the 80s. There was still styles.
There was like ripples from those period and shit. But like you got the vibe from watching the show. But the show is very much a modern TV show in the way that they make it. So the game kind of mirrors that to me. Mm-hmm. Modern delivery platform that gives you the experience of that time period.
Yeah.
It was cool. I was trying not to listen too much because
it's funny because the Stranger Things. I haven't
watched the show.
They had right. You were trying not to spoil it, right?
Yeah.
They had a Stranger Things game that was exclusively for season 1 that was exclusively released on the mobile platform.
I remember that actually.
And that one had a style. It looked like Legend of Zelda, like A Link to the Past. And it's funny because this one seems more like late Super Nintendo in its style and design. So it's almost like they're emulating a style from the specific year that the show takes place in, because season 1 took place in 83 and season 2 takes place in 85. So how's your week been, man?
Just trying to just speed through it. I've been good, dude. Been prepping a lot for Destiny 2 Shadowkeep, of course, which we'll probably chat about a little bit. It's launching on Tuesday. Destiny's the 3rd major expansion, I should say. 3rd year of content, 2nd major expansion for the game. So this week has been preparing for the expansion, doing the last couple things I needed to do, game wise. I literally today knocked out a one of the pinnacle PvP weapons. One of them was tied to a really long quest, the Loon is Hell. I knocked that out today. I needed precision kills in the competitive playlist. I got my last couple of that, so I got that done.
Are you just doing these guns to get the guns, or are you doing these guns because you know that these guns are going to help you in parts of the game that you haven't played yet?
Both. The answer to that question is both. Luna's Howl, in terms of its effectiveness, has kind of dropped off. It got nerfed a couple seasons back, but two of the guns that I got earlier, this PvP play, the Recluse is a submachine gun, and there's the Mountaintop, which is a kinetic grenade launcher, and so it sits in your primary.
Oh,
slot.
I heard about that one. I think you've mentioned that on the show.
They're insane. This is pretty quickly by using as your heavy weapon Anarchy, which is another grenade launcher. Grenades, they stick into an enemy and they tick damage. So what that allows you to do is to do DPS with two things at the same time, because you shoot those, switch to something else, and just keep firing. So you're getting like insane amounts of damage. The Mountaintop, while sitting in one of the Warlock's wells that gives you auto reload nonstop. So that's been like the DPS meta. It's shifting a little bit in Shadowkeep. They're getting rid of things that auto reload your gun and have you use other things, of course, which I'm a fan of. Auto reload has gotten absolutely out of control. Like, we're way too powerful in the game, and I'm actually ready for us to be checked a little bit and have some the real challenging stuff to the game. But they're good. It's an amazing loadout right now because you can still burn shit. And I'm actually using those guns now to attempt to solo one of the Shadowkeep comes through and changes the entire like PvE meta. I haven't done it yet, but I've spent the last couple of days working on the solo kill for Argos. He's the boss of Eater of Worlds, which was the second to released, one of the raid layers. So I've been soloing this guy and practicing the solo run.
And what's the advantage of doing like that alone? Is there like a trophy you're gonna get, or
it's just bragging rights. Do you know the website Raid Report that people in Destiny use, or it's raid.report on any browser?
Kind of, yeah. Vaguely
you can go there and you can look up like other players.
Oh yeah. That's the one that Locke used to take.
They did it.
Locke used to take me to that all the time.
So if I complete this, I'll get a little badge on Raid Report that says, Eater of Worlds solo.
Dope.
It's just clout. It's clout, and like I
remember the Destiny clout. That's kind of a whole part of the meta of the game, right?
I mean, we in the Emergent Gamer clan, we beat this game to shit, dude. Like, we're not a clan of slouches, and if people want to get into like really intense shit, there are people that want to play like that, Right. And especially with that being my main game that I play, I feel the need to reach out into these like challenge communities. They're called low man challenges, doing raids with like, half a fire team or one person, speed runs, shit like that. Like, it's where my natural evolution is going with how I play the game, because I just like that challenge. I love the challenge of it. I like figuring, it's like adding another layer to the puzzle of the raid already. How do I do this?
Accomplishable, because man,
by myself.
There's some shit that's out there that's just fucking hard.
It's wild, man. So have you did you ever raid in Destiny 2?
Yeah, I think.
Did you do the first one? Probably.
I didn't do it fully, I don't think. Mm-hmm. Like, I think I did that first room.
Yeah, because they were like rooms that rotated every week.
It is highly possible that I am confusing this with what did the first room look like of the first raid?
Well, there was a center. We're probably talking about different raids here. This is the one where like it was a big center, like grand gold hallway. There was a fuck ton of Cabal to jump around, try to shoot you.
Okay, I didn't do that one. I guess the last one I did was the one that had red in the title, or
had red in the title.
Red, crimson something maybe.
I don't.
What was the last one from D1? Maybe that's the last one I did.
A Wrath of the Machine.
That one. It began with
a
W.
I see where your brain was going, dude. Red. That actually wasn't bad. It was Wrath. It was close.
Wrath, red sound. Wrath of the Machine.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah. I
That
did
was the last one
the last
in
raid I
Destiny 1.
did was the room for Wrath of the Machine. That was the last
Got
raid I
it.
did.
I got it, dude. I got it.
The first room for
Well,
Wrath of the Machine.
well, this is the final boss of the second Destiny 2 raid, Eater of Worlds.
Yeah.
It's a big floating Vex Hydra that's in a shell, and what you have to do is you have to open the shell by breaking by sending these energy beams into the center of like an unlock mechanism, right?
Yeah.
Usually you have 3 people that each have like a Vex crystal that you can grab and shoot with it. You have to prepare these crystals, bring them over to the matching energy side that he's hanging out at, and then unlock the thing and do the damage. So what I have to do by myself is prepare these Vex crystal heads to be usable. You literally like pop them into a fire and they cook for a second. So I got to like run around the entire map. There's 3 main areas, each matching one of the burns in the game.
Jesus.
Right? I got to run around the map. I got to grab the heads, pop them into cook, look where he's facing, look what energies I need, bring them over to that damage plate while juggling the heads. They disappear after 10 seconds if you don't pick them back up again. Drop my Warlock well so I don't die with all the ads that are shooting at me. And then break the crystal within a couple seconds, try to do DPS, stop him from wiping me, and then do it all over again. It's intense as fuck. And it's fun
and
as fuck.
And you're doing it live? So, like, you got an audience watching you for that?
Yes, sir. I'll probably be attempting more of it tonight because literally it's the last day to do this because they're taking the entire game offline tomorrow, which is Monday.
Yeah.
In preparation for Shadowkeep, because not only are they changing a lot of the game and updating a lot of the systems and everything, it's a massive, entirely new expansion that goes back to the moon from Destiny 1.
Well, I reached out to Diamond Jab and I asked him to maybe guest host tonight on the show, and he was like, "Sorry, man, I'm doing like Destiny 2 prep." I was like,
"It's real, dude.
He's like, I can't.
We're all planning to be racing for World's First on the Saturday after it comes out on the 5th.
Oh, you guys are trying to do the World's First.
So part of what we have to do is like prepare during the week and make sure we're leveling up as efficiently as possible to be as powerful as possible, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, I wasn't offended that he couldn't do the show. I completely understood.
We could have him on next week. Maybe we'll talk about how it all went.
Yeah, I think that would be good.
But yeah, in addition to all the changes to the game, what they're actually doing as well is moving platforms. Because they split from Activision, that means that the Activision and Blizzard launcher does not host the game. And as of 10 a.m. Tuesday, you will be accessing the game through Steam.
Oh, cool.
You had to move that over.
The goal was with you guys?
What do you mean with us?
Isn't that like the goal? The goal is to like access your games from like one place, or?
Oh, I mean, it's...
You guys don't care.
People launchers. I don't really give a shit.
Okay.
People prefer Steam because it's been around the longest, and usually their biggest collection of games is there. So the minute that anything takes you out of Steam, people get all upset about it.
Oh, okay.
Like the Epic Store shit, but
yeah, I heard
primarily
all that.
People prefer to be in Steam because it's just the biggest library.
Yeah.
But they're taking the game down for 24 whole hours before launch period. So I don't have Monday to get this solo done. I have to do it tonight.
Got it.
So hopefully I get it done, dude.
Yeah. Well, good
I'll
luck
need RNG
with that.
And I'll need not to fuck my runs up. But yeah, dude, it's cool. It's a cool new world that I like dipping my toe, like the extreme challenge of it all.
Did you play anything else, or was that the only one?
A little bit by myself. I played Link's Awakening.
Yeah. You talked about
on my own for myself. I said that I was going to stream it because that was my whole plan. I was going to play the original into the new one. That plan got fucked up when my car got hit. All that stuff. Like that's the saga of it all. But as we prepared for Shadowkeep and as like the raid solo has happened, I don't have the time. I was going to play it Monday, but I think tomorrow I'm just going to take the whole day off because the week coming up is going to be insane. I'm going to be streaming every day. I'm going to be playing Shadowkeep, preparing for Saturday. It's going to be a marathon for sure. So I'm going to take a day off, chill. I don't know. Maybe Link's Awakening is the casualty. But I was playing it by myself, and I think it's still an amazing remaster of the game. I was just like spending time exploring the whole world.
It was always off stream and stuff, I guess.
It's nice because it's like a palate cleanser, and it's on the Switch. It's handheld. The Switch is perfect for the portable, getting into different stuff.
You know how I am with games. I have a palate cleanser every other day.
Yeah, I mean, you rotate through your stuff.
I just can't fucking I can't play something for an extended period of time.
I can lock in for fucking ever, dude.
I gotta freshen it up. I get
I feel
bored.
it. I feel
Or
that,
maybe
but
it's a
I also
perception thing.
feel locking it in.
Maybe I just perceive that like people would get bored with me playing the same thing over and over again, but I don't think that's true. I think the majority.
It 100% would not be true. I feel like people would appreciate like a full connected experience.
Yeah,
Personally,
like where I just stay playing the game for all the way to the end, right?
until you beat it, yeah, and then you move on to something else.
Well, maybe
But who knows?
I'll explore that soon.
Who knows?
Who
But yeah,
knows?
next week it'll be Shadowkeep time. So if you're playing that, get excited. Tuesday's going to be big. Then we'll probably talk about it next week. How all the changes have panned out, new guns, new weapons, new activities, how the raid went. We'll know at that point, honestly. Because we'll be playing Sunday into Monday.
Yeah, and I'll definitely have commentary next week.
Saturday into Sunday.
Yeah, I'll have commentary next week about the Curse of the Vampire. See if that's any good.
So the things you heard us talk about tonight, you'll hear us actually talk about the content of that next week. So,
yeah.
But that's what we're preparing for and excited for. Let's do the news, dude.
Dig in, bro.
We got some shit to talk about, man. First of all, what everyone was looking forward to this week, Sony's State of Play.
Yeah, were you looking forward to it?
Just because I knew what was going to be announced.
Yeah.
Everyone guessed it, and then it was confirmed to be talked about. Then they talked about it, of course. The Last of Us Part 2 gets a release date and a reveal trailer. But you're excited for this, The Last of Us Part 2, right?
Yeah, I'm definitely excited for The Last of Us Part 2. What did I observe in the trailer? You don't want me to spoil anything, so how can I talk about it?
Okay, so obviously we know Ellie is the protagonist.
Yes,
right?
she is. Yep.
So she has to have survived the first one. Spoiler alert. That's my fault. It's my fault for not finishing the first one. But yeah, what else?
Oh wait. Did you think that she wasn't going to survive the first one, or?
I don't know, man. Okay. Anything could happen. You know. Who knows?
There is
they didn't label the first one The Last of Us Part 1, right? That wasn't part of its branding.
No, they didn't. It was just called The Last of Us.
Right. I mean, I was asking that because
no, there was no implication that you this is like chapter 1 leading to a chapter 2.
Right.
No, because we would have been more enthusiastic than we are.
Right.
We would have been like, oh, that's the part 1.
Right.
Now there was something about it that made me think it was more like chapters, but I don't. Maybe it's how it was laid out as you played it. Like maybe how it segmented itself was almost like chapters. I can't remember.
But anyway, that's the game everyone has been looking forward to.
Yeah.
For literally years for this game to come out. And we finally have a release date. It's February 21st, 2020.
Yeah.
So, dude, the spring is packed as fuck.
Yeah, there's a lot of games coming out next spring. I mean, we got your Cyberpunk in April.
Cyberpunk, dude.
You got this in so I'll still be playing this probably in April when Cyberpunk comes out.
Right? I mean, March is the Final Fantasy VII remake.
Right. That might have to be shelved for me. I have no idea how I'm going to do fucking... Oh, Christ. I don't even know, man. It's
a lot, dude. It's a lot to juggle.
Yeah. A lot of games, a lot of shit going on. So
this is like your game, though. The Last of Us Part 2.
I know.
Like,
it's like
you played a lot of this on stream. Did you do challenge stuff? Did you do like the high difficulty stuff for this game, like you did
the most I did was survival mode. I didn't do the one that Locke did called Grounded.
Yeah.
Survival mode was hard, man, but I completed it. I finished it.
Nice.
Grounded. Survival
Grounded is the highest difficulty, right?
No.
Of the original game?
No, survival and grounded are just two different ways to play hard. Okay? So survival mode is there's less stuff in the world. But your character still takes damage the same way. Grounded is the stuff is all the same. So the world has the populated stuff that you need to do stuff, just like it did in the normal playthrough. But you take one shot, you're dead.
Oh, got it. Okay.
So Grounded is clearly from for people who played it, like Locke played it. I believe
is it supposed to be like grounded in reality? Like, is that why it's
maybe grounded in reality? Yeah, but I think Locke said that it was harder because of the fact that they could one-shot you. I think that's what it was.
Well, of course. I mean, that changes your entire way you play the game to survive.
Yeah. So, so it was just two different play styles that were hard, and I chose the survival playthrough just to see. And it was really hard because there were times when you just ran out of everything. And
I'm sure, dude. I'm really sure.
You died.
You're really
swiftly.
Struggling in those moments.
Yeah. So, the couple things that I noted in the trailer, and I don't know if this even spoils anything for you.
It's fine.
I don't think it does.
I'll live with it
because you understand the fundamental concept. I don't care if I spoil Last of Us 1. If you haven't played that, you need to.
If anyone is listening, spoiler for Last of Us
Sorry,
1.
You forgot.
I
fucking 2000.
Should have finished it. That's my fault.
No, but this doesn't spoil anything about. This is revealed about this character in the early point of Last of Us. But Ellie has a bite, and she's not like dying from it or turning into. You remember that part? You got
that's
that part.
That's early on in the game.
It's in the beginning.
It's like the whole the story
crux behind why he can take her west, or why he wants to take her west, is because
she's the potential cure to this thing.
So the one conflict that people had with what they witnessed in the trailer was her donning a mask. It doesn't that doesn't spoil because we don't know the reason why she has to don a mask. We just see her wearing a mask in the trailer. And I thought about it and I said, well, they want her to be the protagonist, but the mechanic that's built into the first game of entering a room and not being able to breathe, right, is still a relevant mechanic, right, in order to make the game more of a challenge. So more than likely, they're going to write in a reason why she has to be wearing the mask. And I can only speculate on what it could be, but I'm interested to learn what it is, what the reason for that is. Why does she have to wear the gas mask when she enters certain areas? If she's somebody that can't get infected by it, because I think in Last of Us 1 they entered areas and she just breathed the air. I don't remember clearly.
Right.
At all, but
but it's like a teaser for
it teases you. It makes you wonder about things.
They gotta get people playing the game, dude. They don't actually need to be selling this. People are very, very excited for this game. Did you see the collector's edition or one of the?
I was looking at all of that shit. The ultimate. I don't know what it's called. It's called the Ellie edition, I think.
The Ellie edition, yeah.
And it's got a fucking replica backpack. Which
it's got her backpack. That's something that gets I'm oh dude, I want that shit, man.
Knowing Sony, that's probably going to be good, high quality material backpack.
not
not the bullshit with
Breaker. What did 76 Fallout 76 bag, the canvas bag,
the shitty ass bag, man.
Yeah,
Baggate, bro.
Baggate, dude. Holy shit, man.
But dude, man, it was an intense trailer. It's really cool. She's definitely turning into the alpha. I mean, that's the impression I'm getting. And there were some other. There is one. Okay, I won't even go anywhere. I won't go there. You're gonna finish Last of Us and play this fucking game.
I have to, right? The whole reason that I actually got into streaming was to play this game. You and Locke were always talking about this game, and I'm like, you know what? I'll hop on and I'll stream it.
Yeah, well, there were other characters that it was a pleasant surprise to see that they're going to be back in the next game. So
that's cool.
Right. So I won't reveal who those are.
Got it, dude. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a couple other things announced too at Sony's State of Play. There's a remake of Medieval PS1 game. I think there's a demo of that out as well.
I remember that game. I remember wanting that game and then not getting it.
Yeah, it wasn't the skull got big teeth on the skull, cartoony looking thing. Yeah,
I remember wanting to. I was curious about that game when it originally came out, but I never actually got it. Oh, am I remembering the right game? Is that a RTS?
I don't actually know what it is. I mean, I only remember ever seeing the cover of it and being
I believe that
I don't have a
RTS.
PlayStation. It looks cool.
How do you spell it? Medieval, just the way medieval spelled.
No, it's like it's MEDI, but then like evil, like not you know how like like the era is EVAL. This is EVIL,
Oh,
and it's like medieval.
medieval.
Yeah.
No, this is not what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, it's the skull with the big teeth. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, it's like an adventure game. Anyway, there's a demo right now. You could download it and play it, and I think it's coming out next month.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, it
So,
does
yeah.
look really cool. Looks very metal.
Metal, dude. So we're getting that.
That's so metal, man.
That's metal, bud. Limited edition Death Stranding PS4 Pro bundle
I
is
won't be
coming out.
getting that, but is that
It's
implying
a PS4. Is it what?
is that implying that the game won't run on my original PS4?
It's literally not implying that at all. Just they're selling more shit to sell the game, dude.
Oh yeah.
It's a PS4 with like the handprints, you know, like the floating, melty, like invisible people handprints.
Yeah.
That's on the
When's that
that's
come
on
out
the
again?
actual console.
When's that?
That's in November. It the Pro Bundle. This is coming out November 8th. I don't know if that's the exact Death Stranding launch date.
November is going to be. Oh my god.
It's really just that for me. Do you have yeah, November 8th. November 8th. Same day as the game launch, this bundle comes out.
Death Stranding.
One of the coolest things though, before we go off it, that's the PS4, but the controller for the PS4 is like this clear yellowy like material that looks like the baby container material. You know, it's like he's carrying around a little baby in the tube.
Oh yeah.
It's like a semi like a translucent PS4 controller. With
I pre-ordered it. I mean, I got it pre-ordered, but that's when Fallout Wastelanders comes out as well. I don't know if it's the same day. I think Fallout Wastelanders is November 12th or something, 15th.
But it's around the same time. So that's your November.
Yeah. So
I'll probably be dipping into this.
I mean,
we got another game from the creator of Katamari Damacy. You know that weird little Japanese roll the ball, collect the things in the ball game, called Watam. That's coming out.
Cool.
LA Noire has VR case files coming out. Civilization 6 coming to PS4 November 22nd.
Yeah, the Civilization 6 is such a good game. I would not buy it again, but I've already bought it twice.
Oh, dude, I love playing the Civ games. I call them one-way time machines because you start playing it and all of a sudden it's the next day and the sun's coming up. And you're like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah. I have a file for that on my Switch and a file for that on my mobile. And the DLC for it just came to mobile too.
I'm not. We've talked about this before on the show that I'm not a mobile gamer. But when it first came out, Diamond Jab actually sent me like a recorded video of his screen on his iPhone of him running the game.
Yeah.
And sent it to me, and I was able to watch it, and see what it would be like if I was playing this on my phone. I'm impressed. I'm really impressed with the mobile UI for that game.
How fast it is? Did you notice how fast efficient, it is?
Just like perfect for where your fingers would be.
The Switch,
it's really, really well done.
Dude, the Switch doesn't have anything. I'm playing a file on each, the mobile and on the Switch console, and it's just like, it's so slow. Like, I make moves in the mobile game, and it's just like, foom, 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 foom. I love it. I love playing it on the mobile. It's fucking outstanding. Yeah. If you guys are ever going to play, if you're ever going to play Civ 6, download it on like your iOS device. I'm assuming it's on Android as well. It's really fast on the mobile.
I would assume.
It's great.
It's crazy. And then the last biggest thing that they announced at the State of Play is the lineup for October's PlayStation Plus free games to download, which is MLB The Show 19, if you're a baseball fan, and The Last of Us Remastered will be the free game. So if you haven't played The Last of Us, you can get it for free with Sony's PlayStation Plus and experience the game before the new one comes out.
Yeah, it holds up. It definitely holds up.
Does, especially playing it like a year or two ago. Really does. On the same day, the literal same day, Xbox had their Inside Xbox event. Now, this is like they do these things periodically. It's like the Nintendo Directs kind of thing. But they just kind of like list a bunch of shit coming out. But it was funny that it was the same day as
dude, nobody
as Sony.
Like, I didn't learn until I read the notes before our show tonight that even happened.
The Inside Xbox?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, all the focus is on Sony. This is
right.
Like they always have their like State of Play kind of thing around this time every year.
I mean,
But we had the Xbox one, dude, inside Xbox. So they essentially just like ran down a list of things happening for Xbox as well. They updated a lot of games coming to their Xbox Game Pass,
right?
which I mean, it's an amazing service,
I don't.
honestly.
Oh, okay,
You,
okay. So, sorry, I was seeing titles in here that like are already in there for me, but
mm-hmm.
I realized that that's because they're all coming to the PC version
Right,
of the Game Pass.
right.
But yeah, there's a lot of fucking games in that Game Pass, dude. There's so many games
Mm-hmm.
in it.
It's an insane, dude. It's an insane deal, dude.
It's an insane deal because of the IP that they're dumping into it. It's also an insane deal because it's way cheaper than Sony.
Mm-hmm.
You know how much Sony is, right?
What Sony's
$20 a month.
for?
PlayStation Now. Their Netflix.
Oh, but
for
that's
games.
not even anywhere near this. Isn't PlayStation Now like it's like PS3 games and a bunch of like
PlayStation
older
Now.
titles? Can you get current titles on now?
I think I went in and I looked up because we were just talking about it. I looked up The Last of Us to see if it was in
Yeah.
there, and even The Last of Us wasn't in there. And I was
Yeah,
like who would
that
pay
service? It's not even
$20?
it's not even relevant.
It's $20 a month for trash. Like I don't.
Yeah, it's not even relevant to a current conversation because of how that was like the first attempt at a model like that, or at least one of the earliest ones, and it hasn't shifted, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so I wouldn't even say it's like this service. This is like, everyone's $10 a month thing.
Like
Spotify, Apple
I
Music,
literally
Netflix,
went in
whatever the
there
fuck.
and I was shocked to see that all of their major IP is in there. Like Xbox Game Pass has all the Halo games. They're all in there.
Mhm.
The Gears game that just came out, Gears 5, it instantly just went in there.
Yeah,
I don't have to buy that.
right.
Like all of the I know they don't have a lot of intellectual property, but in their defense, they're not fucking stingy with it. Like they're putting it out there.
Mm-hmm.
Good work. The very little IP that you have. I mean,
We saw they were like moving to gain more.
right.
Over the past like E3 and stuff, they were talking about all the developers they're adding to their in-house first-party Xbox studios and shit like
I
that.
was so impressed when I went in there that I re-downloaded State of Decay. Because
That means it's working.
they had like the Heartlands DLC in there. I have not
Mm-hmm.
opened it. I honestly haven't played it because I've been playing so many other games. But
You're like, oh, let me check this out, dude.
but I'll download it. I installed it
Sure,
on my
sure.
console, and I'm like, fuck it. Well, we'll try it again.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I was so fucking pissed at that shit, and I'm just like, I take a dump on you, and then like 4 months later, 6 months later, I'm like, I got the Game Pass. Oh, I'll download that game again. Oh my god. But yeah, blows my mind.
They showed that Atlas. Remember hearing about Atlas? Atlas is it's a pirate themed
Yeah.
MMO game. Same people that did Ark, Survival Evolved
Right.
that game.
So it's a pirate survival game.
Yeah, dude, and that game like when it launched was just like a big pile of shit. Honestly, if you haven't watched videos of like Atlas at launch, please do because the game was laughably bad, borderline playable, just a pile of hot steaming shit. And you can play that hot steaming pile of shit on Xbox One October 8th.
On the
So-
pass?
On the yeah.
On Game Pass. Are we sure?
Actually, I don't know if that's accurate, dude.
No.
It'll
It
be
doesn't
playable.
Well, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about Game Pass.
It does not.
Hmm.
But it's funny because the game is just such a just awfully implemented title. People even found inside the game's code like a developer menu for Ark that really implied that this game was truly just everything about Ark reskinned and resold as an entirely new game.
Oh wow.
It's kind of a yikes, honestly. Project xCloud got talked about a little bit more.
Yeah.
xCloud is their like stream a game through a browser kind of service.
Yeah, that's to compete with the new Google thing, right?
Like Google Stadia.
Yeah,
Mhm,
Stadia.
exactly. NVIDIA has one of these too. It's called NVIDIA GeForce Now that is in beta. It's a closed beta, so you have to request access and then get access to it, get sent to you, then you download the app and access it. I requested access to GeForce Now like early 2017, I'm pretty sure. No, early 2018. Early 2018. I got it finally a year after that. Earlier this year, I finally got into GeForce Now. But it's like, stream your game through a browser, play with a controller. You don't have to own a console. You just own the service.
Right. Yeah.
Yada, yada, yada. I'm not sold on this technology. At least not yet. Dude, I don't think
sold
America,
on it because we're old now, and that is the new.
No, it's really not that. It's America's infrastructure does not have the capability to play games latency free the way that it needs to.
Oh, believe me, I agree. Yeah. Are you there?
I'm here. Yeah.
Oh, good.
I thought you were gonna follow with more of that.
That's that awkward silence.
Oh.
No, I had nothing else to say. I completely blew my train of thought on that one.
That's fine, dude.
Yeah, and then they for the thing, they had a bunch of trailers of different games, right, that are coming out that aren't necessarily developed by them. Like Outer Worlds was one of them.
Right.
And they were talking about different dates. That's another
Outer
one.
World looks great.
I'm going to have that. I'm having that. Yeah, the Outer Worlds. I'm going to be playing that.
That's October 25th, and then we get Death Stranding November 8th. I'm bringing up a calendar here to look at this. You have 2 weeks to play Outer Worlds before Death Stranding. You have exactly 2 weeks.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Hey, I played your game. I played it for 2 weeks.
I'll be able to play Outer Worlds for 3 days, and then I go to Hawaii with my family. Actually, that last week.
Yeah.
Of October. And then I come back, and then it's Death Stranding time.
Yes. 2 weeks.
It's crazy, dude.
I played your game for 2 weeks. Loved your game. It was a great
I forget
game.
when Pokemon's supposed to come out, but that's another game that's gonna eat up my fall.
2 weeks. It was a good game. I played it for 2 weeks.
Gotta be a Destiny tryhard. I don't even know what I'm.
And then something else came out, and I was like, I couldn't play your game anymore. I just could play it for the 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Great game though. Great game.
Let's talk about some Last of Us 2 stuff though. The devs have confirmed that there is no multiplayer coming out with this.
Okay.
What do you think about this?
I did have thoughts, and I said I would save them for. So, I think I was quoted on a couple episodes way back in the day when I was actively playing Last of Us on maybe PS3 or maybe the remaster.
Mm-hmm.
I think initially I played their multiplayer on the PS3 version.
Right.
And I really enjoyed it. Like it was an intense multiplayer. It had a good concept of counterplay, in the sense that
you've gone on about counterplay before. I remember you talking about this.
Counterplay is something that I watched a video at one point that told me all about it. I didn't really understand it as a concept, but it's a cool concept because it's a thought process in multiplayer design where if there's an element introduced for an aggressor, there's always a defensive mode,
right? A way to counter
that can counter it, right? And bad multiplayer has not good counterplay, and good multiplayer has great counterplay. Like I put Call of Duty, most of the times I've played Call of Duty, I put that in the category of not having good counterplay at all, right?
Sure.
Just trash, because it puts it all the weight of everything in the hands of the aggressor, and then there's not a lot of defense. I mean, I think they've evolved that over the years, so I'm not going to blanket say that that's true of every Call of Duty game that's ever existed. But
any competitive game, you should have a good balance.
From my personal experience, if someone comes in and they're brand new and they get trashed and they have no way to defend themselves against that, that's a horrible game. And that happened to me a couple times.
True.
So what I really liked about this game was, like, certain weapons would balance out. Like if you were somebody who chose to use the bow, right? You couldn't necessarily get a leg up on somebody else, and somebody couldn't get a leg up on you because there would be a great offensive measure with the weapon that you had, but there would be some kind of like Achilles heel that caused something. As I remember it, I thought it was really balanced. That's the point. I'm not going to talk anymore about that. That's what I meant. Because, it has to do with memory here and me being an old person, and it's been a really long time since I fucking played it. So, truth be told, I played it a lot.
It's a meta conversation.
Yeah, PS3. I played it a lot, and then I, enjoyed it.
This is a mode specifically called factions. Is
Yeah,
that do
it
you
was
remember
it was called
this?
Factions. Yeah.
Okay. What was the deal with factions? Was it just like PvP,
So the
like
one
free
thing I
for all,
didn't,
like
as I remember, the one thing I didn't like about Factions was I didn't like the UI at all. It wasn't
okay.
very clear when I was like in a match. Like I knew how to join a match, but it wasn't really clear statistically how to keep track of wins, losses. Like I don't know. It
Right.
confused me. I remember it confusing me again when I went in the remastered version of it, and I was like,
Sure.
"This is not good." Like the UI's bad for it, but like the gameplay was enjoyable. Like once you got into it, I had a great time, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But like, so anyway, so my point is when I heard that they're not going to be incorporating multiplayer in Last of Us 2, I was kind of cool with that. I'm like, okay, didn't really work well
Sure.
last time. Was fun, but needed better UI and a whole. It seems like they threw it in as an afterthought. That's what it seemed
Right.
like to me. Like it wasn't
Interesting.
originally a part of their development plan, and then somebody said, "You guys should incorporate some multiplayer in this shit,"
Mm-hmm.
and they did. So I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see. I mean, they've said in statements that their first like update about multiplayer was kind of vague. I remember reading this when they tweeted this on the 26th of this month. And to me, it sounded like they weren't actually going to be doing anything multiplayer in The Last of Us 2 at all, and were instead working on an entirely different title because of what they've done with this. Let me read this out to you real quick, so people can be on the same like page about this. We wanted to address multiplayer in The Last of Us Part 2. As we've stated, the single player campaign is far and away the most ambitious project Naughty Dog has ever undertaken. Likewise, as development began on the evolution of our factions mode from The Last of Us Part 1, the vision of the team grew beyond an additional mode that could be included with our enormous single player campaign. Wanting to support both visions, we made the difficult choice that Last of Us Part 2 would not include an online mode.
Hmm.
However, you will eventually experience the fruits of our team's online ambition, but not as part of The Last of Us Part 2. When and where it will be realized is still to be determined, but rest assured, we are as big a fan of factions as the rest of our community. It's ready.
Hmm.
So what I heard from that when I originally read it was, but not as part of The Last of Us Part 2. And I was like, oh, so this sounds like they're spinning off some entirely new project.
Yeah. I
But
mean,
then they have clarified this as of 2 days ago.
hmm.
They said, where was the quote right here? This grew beyond an additional mode that could be included with our enormous single player campaign. Not that it's going to be a separate game.
I mean, it sounds like well, maybe it'll be like a DLC that they release or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it'll be.
I seem to remember Factions being part of some kind of free DLC that they released as well, though. So I don't know.
But yeah, it's a little bit confusing. People that were reached out to comment on this have said things like, "We're focusing on the single player story, so we're just making a single player game for this." That was lead game designer Emilia Schatz. That was her comment about this. So like, it sound like for a while it sounded like they weren't going to do this at all, multiplayer. So it's been a bit of a confusing ride, but ultimately I think after clarifying, kind of, we'll get multiplayer for Last of Us Part 2 for people that want it, but who knows how long down the road. You're only getting single player at first.
Violent kill cams. That's what I remember.
Yeah.
So like, the game didn't allow somebody to teabag you. So come in and offensively teabag you and do their own thing.
Right.
The game made kill cams that made like the death when somebody killed you, they killed you so violently. It was epic.
Like brutal,
Yeah.
like violent.
Because
kind
a lot
shit.
of times people would go in and because it had this developed like melee thing that was based on the engine of like what you did in single player. So you could come in and with like a hatchet or like a knife or something, come in and start stabbing somebody, and then they would see their death from you on their screen. So I just remember the kill cams were super powerful. and really cool.
Yeah. Well, that's the news. That's the Xbox, Sony news, and the Naughty Dog news. You want to chat about the other PvP conversation it's been happening around Modern Warfare?
Yeah, I mean,
It's a similar kind of
how long has it been since
PvP-centric
you've played Call of Duty?
I've literally never played Call of Duty in my entire life once.
Not once, really.
Literally have never shot a gun in a Call of Duty game.
Can I just give you my little litany, my little
Sure.
history?
Yeah.
So I started on Call of Duty 3, I think, which was before Modern Warfare came out. That was the last World War II one. I played that on something. I think that was like PC based. I think I played it on something. And then Modern Warfare 1 came out. Or Modern Warfare... Call of Duty... sorry. Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare was the first one, right? That's what this new game is a callback
numbers,
to.
The titles.
Right. It was called Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. That's what it was called.
Right.
So I played that, and I loved the story. I played the individual story. There's another one that came out. I don't remember when that came out, but it was called World at War. That was on the 360. I really loved World at War. I loved World at War. I think I might be confusing that with 3. I think I did Call of Duty World at War. And
There's been a lot of Call of Duty games.
And that was the one that got me in. And then I did Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3. Modern Warfare 2 had the no Russian sequence where you shot up people in an airport, which was just insane to me. And then Modern Warfare 3 took the story to like suburban US fighting through like houses and shit. And it was fucking terrific. And then I didn't play any of the Black Ops games, and they seemed to get away from like story stuff in games, and it was just multiplayer. It was a multiplayer dynasty. So at that point, I checked out because I played Call of Duty Modern Warfare online, and at the point I got in there and decided to play it online, kids were hacking it, and fucking someone threw like a hatchet in the air, and it came down on my head, and I was just like, fuck this, I'm never playing this again. I'm like, this is a stupid fucking game.
It's kind of amazing.
But that was it. But you know what? The original Black Ops took place in the 60s. I think I played the story for that. Because I remember the whole sequence. Like I remember like it was like in the 1960s, like the story. I don't remember the context of that or anything. Yeah, he says World at War came after 4. So I bought World at War, and then I went back and bought Call of Duty Modern Warfare and played that. So there it is.
And the history of Felix's Modern Warfare. What was the
history of Call of Duty with Felix Herga?
Rattling all that out.
My point of rattling all that off is I like the idea of them going back to story Call of Duties because I got away from them because they were all multiplayer Call of Duties, and I didn't give a shit about that. I didn't want to play with other people. I honestly am surprised I even got into it with Battlefield. I was more interested in my experience playing through the little story vignettes that they offered in Battlefield 1 and 5. Like, I love that more, and I want more of that.
Sure. Well, that's what it's... I mean, the trailer for this was very story-driven.
Yeah.
Right. For the Modern Warfare experience here. But people are pissed off.
Yeah.
Because...
the multiplayer community are pissed off about something.
There's going to be a specific mode of their Spec Ops mode called Spec Ops Survival that is a year-long exclusive for PS4 players.
Right.
This seems to me at least to be classic straight up Activision, because one of the things from my perspective as a Destiny player, up until this past year when Bungie bought back their rights and they're now independent, there has always been PS4 exclusive content for Destiny every year. Every year PS4 players got like at least one exotic weapon that no one else could use for a whole year.
Yeah, wasn't the Jade Rabbit?
I think that was the Destiny 1 PS4 exclusive. Yeah, that's a really good
Jade
memory.
Rabbit, yeah. My memory is only of Destiny 1. Like, you moved on to the Destiny world of 2 and
I
did all
did.
that.
I did.
You might have
You could come back,
forgotten.
man. You
Your,
could
your,
easily come back.
your new knowledge pushed out all your old knowledge and Destiny, but I'm
You,
still there, man.
you gotta
I'm
make
in the
room
vault.
for some things, yeah.
I'm in the vault.
But like that's
I
kind
agree
of
with you, though.
the Activision thing, though. You know, as like a publisher, they're gonna make little deals like that. I don't have enough knowledge of Modern Warfare or Call of Duty to know like how impactful this specific mode is. But people are upset that they're not getting a whole game mode, and they're calling the releases of the game uneven. You know, because Xbox and PC don't have this mode, and people are saying, "Why am I paying full price for this game?" Which I can understand that argument for sure. Now, again, if I'm using my lens of Destiny, things that are PS4 exclusive or were are like you get one strike mission that's PS4 exclusive.
Yeah.
Strikes are just 3-person
Yeah, it
cooperative.
wasn't
They're
a.
like longer, more involved stories, right? And you play these things rotating pretty quickly in a playlist. So it didn't seem to be a huge deal to not have a strike when I left PS4 to play on PC for a year, right?
Right, right.
And the narrative director for Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Taylor Kurosaki, replied and said that this is essentially 1% of the game.
Right. Yeah, 1%.
He said it's 1%. It's like
Well,
a sub mode of a mode. It's not that huge of a deal, but
would
it's a whole year people don't have the ability to play this.
wouldn't you agree that the things that you were withheld in Destiny were like 1% of Destiny?
I would consider that maybe 1%, yeah, but not like 1% in a bad way. Just like, hey, there's one less random strike that I'll get now that I'm playing on PC. And there's still a ton of other strikes, you know? But I don't know if this lines up with that experience because to me, this sounds like just a different version of a multiplayer mode. And that's literally an aspect of the game that people won't be able to experience potentially. Like, that to me is like saying that you can't play, you know, we were talking about this earlier. Like, you can't play zone control in competitive in Destiny. You can only play regular control. You know, at least we all have the ability to play strikes. We don't get one strike, but we can all play strikes. This is saying no one
We'll get
except
to
Sony
play
players
that game
can
mode.
play Spec Ops Survival. Yeah.
I mean, think about Rise of the Tomb Raider. Rise of the Tomb Raider released on Xbox One, from what I'm reading here, November of 2015, and then didn't come out on PlayStation until October of 2016.
Right. Well, that's whole game.
That's a whole game
Exclusivity.
delay.
Yeah.
You know, and like,
I mean,
that's
that
bad.
sucks for Tomb Raider fans, but I think that's better than selling the same game and then telling people you can't have part of this game.
We're just gonna gate this one little feature, and you can't get to it.
But again, maybe my lens is distorted. Maybe I don't understand, you know, how impactful this mode is.
I definitely think both of us don't really understand. I mean, they're calling it a survival mode. The only analogy I have that it could possibly be similar to is what happened with both Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 5 is a delay of hardcore mode. And it's it wasn't like console exclusive or anything. The delay was for everyone, but like if it's like hardcore mode, you know, where you shoot people and you get like quicker kills, and you know, like the reason why our buddy Adrenaline, you know, Country Boy, the reason why Adrenaline Country Boy loves playing the fucking hardcore mode is because when he shoots people from great distances, he can just get the instant headshot because it's supposed to be like a one-shot kill any part of the body type thing.
Right, right.
And, you know, he likes to take advantage of that. I don't like it because I don't think it's balanced play. I think it's shitty. You know what I mean? Like, all the times I go into hardcore, it's like there's the 3 players in the map who do like 60 kills. And then you have everyone else like all deaths, you know?
Sure.
So it fucking sucks. But
yeah,
if it's anything like that, the people who are whining are the people who want to like exploit people and take advantage of them. So
I mean, I think that's a crazy equivalency. We're not saying
you
that.
Get that from me. You're gonna get that from me.
I don't have the lens. You know, to me, I don't want to add noise to this as not a Call of Duty player. But I mean, from the outside looking in, it seems bad to not get any aspect of a game, like any specific mode of a game, if that's an essential crucial part of the experience.
Right.
Maybe it's not though. I mean, people have referred to it as the classic Spec Ops survival mode. So maybe it's really not that huge of a deal.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But a big argument is that like by the time people get this content, there will be a new game. It's like it's like the shooter Madden. Like there's a new one every year. Get the next one.
It is
so, like,
the shooter Madden, yeah.
Yeah, you're not getting to play this. Some more insight that Taylor Kurosaki tweeted to someone in a reply. Someone was reaching out saying, "Hey, like, you know, I appreciate what you guys are doing. I'm sorry, I'm being a shithead, blah blah blah." And he replied, "It's all good. We have tried our best to have an open dialogue with our players from day one. We understand letting that trust down. These are complicated decisions that are above our pay grade. Please know we want what's best for all our players."
Mm-hmm.
So that to me just screams Activision. Like Activision just said, we need to cut something out to have an exclusive deal because of some other deal we made with Sony for exclusive things.
Oh, we need to have
this
something
is the mode.
Exclusive. Yeah.
I mean, to me, that's what it reads like, you know?
Yeah.
Just publisher decisions, you know? Big deals, things like that. And a narrative director can't be like, this is fucked up. They're going to say, oh, okay, write your story, bitch. Let's cut this out of the
I
game.
will definitely look for that Call of Duty game in the future on sale. I'm not going to buy it. Like, I can't buy them out of the gate anymore because I know that at least 50% or more of the effort of the development team that developed that game developed it strictly for multiplayer. Right. Which I don't value as much as other people. So for me, the $60 value that I'm paying for the game, you know, it doesn't compute with what I know the effort they put out.
Sure.
Right? Like, why would I pay $60 for a game where I'm not even playing what they intended me to play? You see what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I get it.
So, like, if they marketed it as this is a brand new giant solo campaign thing, come check it out, then I would go, okay, that's why I'm buying. I'm buying to get that $60 solo campaign experience. But
right,
I don't trust.
But no, a lot of this is online.
Yeah, I don't trust that they're marketing it to me. I don't think it is. I think they're trying to get me back, right, into their fold, buying these campaign story things over and over again. But I worry that it's a shuck and jive. You know, it's like they're not going to have as much effort put into that side of it as they claim they're putting into that side of it. Do you see what I mean?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I definitely have to read reviews. You know, like I don't have a doubt about that with Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Like,
right.
I know that Ghost Recon Breakpoint's primary development concern is making a story game in an open world that will take hours for me to collect shit in. And that's going to be the game. And,
sure. To you, that's what you value in a game.
Yeah.
That's what you.
So it's a $60 price.
The money that you spend. Yeah.
Right. And I know that there's going to be some kind of throwaway multiplayer that's going to be thrown into it that I'm never going to play, but it'll be there. Whatever.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we'll see what Activision says. They've yet to comment on this, or if they even will. So, I'm sure we'll know, and we'll see it on the internet one way or the other. That's pretty much it, though, dude.
That's it. I think
that's it.
Yeah, I don't think we need to press this even longer. I mean, a couple good things that happened tonight that really were off the camera is me and Trip Zero worked out some technical issues with the production of our show.
We
through
did.
Discord.
This is true.
So I'm excited about the layout we got going on now. That's a cool looking layout. I know you guys can't see it at home listening in the audio podcast, but fucking looks cool.
I was just thinking about some stuff here, man. What it all looks like, you know?
Yeah.
I like shit to be shiny.
Follow us on Twitch or Mixer if you guys can at some point.
Hell yeah.
Oh, and
dude.
I've been like I said, I'm going back and I'm putting up old episodes. If you guys want to go back through the timeline and listen to something that's outdated with its information and just hear us talking about bullshit,
We
I,
might have some new clips and collections coming too.
yeah, I heard that's gonna
Or
our
YouTube.
demos is gonna be doing that, so that's really cool. I uh, I've taken us back to '94, episode '94.
1994.
No, yeah, it's back when I
Yeah.
was like when I was saying things like, "Remember that movie from '94 that was amazing?" It's just,
The Academy Award this year was.
uh, but one thing
Um,
that I found was interesting. Me and Flower thought that her earliest show was Not Enough Cocoa, which is episode 97. And
mhm.
I found out that Flower started on episodes. She started on episode 43.
Holy shit.
Yeah, 43. Like she's
Damn,
been
dude.
and she was going under her real name on the shows. She was
Hmm.
billed, well, billed. Nobody's billed, but she was billed under her real name of.
Sure. Build. I mean, this is billing.
It's
You're billing.
billing. It's a playbill. I'm saying billing like
Yeah.
getting charged.
That's what I mean. Anyway, where can people find you online, Felix?
Uh, Felix Hergood is on Mixer, Twitch, Twitter. I also have a Facebook page. Like me there if you want. But yeah, Felix Hergood.
Felix Hergood.
Yeah.
Nice. And I am Trip Zero. You guys can find me Trip Zero TV, all spelled out. Everywhere is the same. Mixer, Twitch, Instagram, Twitter. I'm on Facebook as well. YouTube, all that shit. Trip Zero TV. Very, very easy to find. Will not be streaming Monday, but Tuesday onward, Tuesday for probably the next Tuesday through Sunday at least, will be Destiny 2 Shadowkeep. It's the launch date, and the Emergent Gamer group and clan is going to be preparing for the raid race on Saturday. So if you're going to watch anything, tune in Saturday, October 5th, 1 p.m. for the Garden of Salvation raid world's first race, and see how well we do, dude. If we get to finish it within 24 hours, we can wear a cool emblem and flex on all the kids that didn't. So that'll be cool, man. Of course, there's actually there's a legit title belt that gets given out to the world first team as well, like a wrestling style big metal belt. It's pretty sick. Anyway, that's going to do it for us tonight, dudes. We will
Yeah, dudes.
catch you next week.
All right. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you.
Later.